We've officially made it to episode number 4 of The Guide Life. If you're new here, my name is Jaden. I run an outfitting company in Canada. So right now it's the winter time and I've got a bunch of ice shacks out on the lake. And this series is just watching me do my job. So I'm taking you along, putting a GoPro on my head and showing you guys exactly what I do throughout the day. So this series has been really fun for me to do. So I really appreciate everybody watching so far. And again, if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, comment, tell me what you think about it. Tell me where you're coming from and show me some love. So it's a beautiful day, the sun's out, pretty relaxed day, nothing really going on, no check-ins. So I'm just gonna move around some stakes, I moved some castles around, I'm gonna move around a few things, do a delivery, and then I wanted to give you guys an update on the ice conditions. So I'm gonna drill a few holes around showing you how much ice is on the ice roads that have been here since the beginning of January, and then go off the road and show you some of the ice conditions that are off the roads that haven't been plowed yet. So that would be about the least amount of ice that we're dealing with around here. And I think you'll be a little surprised with how much we actually have. So I'll see you out there. How's it going?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going? So the fishing's been pretty good?
Yeah, we got some.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I got some boxes here for you.
Thank you. Clean the fish on me. I didn't
Yeah.
have anything.
Yeah.
Haven't went through my beers, but
What's that, sorry?
I forgot the box.
Oh, oh well, that's okay. Has it been, like when you first set down or whatever, was it pretty heavy for perch for a little while?
yeah, a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
and then yeah, it's good. Like every new spot we try is always like that.
Sure.
Like anything that hasn't been fished yet is always just loaded with perch. It's crazy. And then you get the nice walleyes coming afterwards, and all you do is you take, like, so you just take the Cisco, you pop its stomach so that the air comes out and it'll sink. It's frozen, but it'll thaw down there when it's down in the water, and then you just put either a single hook's fine, but most guys use one treble hook right through the back. Nice. Okay, so yeah, you can do that too with 2, and then just make sure that it hangs nice and flat. And I'll put it off the bottom 3, 4, 5 feet. Just gonna hang it there, and because when they're cruising around, you know, when it's on the bottom, a lot of times they'll kind of just swim by it. It doesn't seem like they actually see it much when you watch them on a graph or whatever. But if it's up high a little bit, you can even suspend them like 10, 15 feet off.
That's what I was
So you can,
looking it up.
yeah, so you can have one like, you know, 3, 4, 5 feet off, and then the other like 10, 15 feet off. And then whatever depth they're cruising at, they can see it a little bit better. But I mean, the water's so clear here, they can see
Sure.
pretty well anyways. But did you have your live scope set up? Were you able to watch it on there
Yeah.
too? It's
Yeah.
cool. They come in just in like
I could
packs,
see
eh?
hers better than mine. I don't know if it's too close or what, but
Yeah, it might be like if her spoon was a little bit bigger or something like that.
she could have just a plain hook.
I had the plain hook when I was letting it down, trying to find the bottom, and then you're like,
Yeah,
Brenda,
yeah.
there's a fish, get it.
She's letting it down, and I'm watching her lure go down,
There's one coming up.
and
Yeah.
I'm watching the fish come up, and I'm like, keep going a little bit,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, stop. And she stopped, and the fish grabbed her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty neat to watch.
80, perfect. I would put the other one kind of like over where these holes are.
Yeah, I drilled
Just
the
as,
holes and tried them.
yeah.
That one, I missed 2 bites of that one.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't get them to taste.
Because the point kind of goes out that way. Like this is a great spot because it'll be pushing against the shelf, but then also off that point as well. You know, if you're up on the rock a little bit, suspended a little more, I think that would be a good way to do it. Yeah. So you want just to look at it and make sure it's kind of set up right. And then,
Yeah.
so if you have just a single treble without this whole rig or whatever,
Yeah.
just to make it a little more inconspicuous, just tie it straight to the treble and have it kind of right here in the back and just like hang it like this just to make sure it goes straight. And yeah, see if that makes a difference
I
too.
knew there was a trick for getting them to go down. And
There's usually one little air bubble in there that doesn't like to go. But if it's down like that, I'll make sure to give it a good tug or whatever. You see that air still kind of coming out? There you go. So those couple air bubbles came out, and now it hangs perfect like that.
cool.
Then you let it down to the bottom, give it a couple reels up. You see how all those scales kind of fall off too? That helps.
Track.
Just slowly falling down.
We're so used to going on in the lake, it looks like a city.
And we don't have any wind. But have you used these iFish Pros much?
No.
So if we have wind, normally like I just try to set it up so that the line is like blowing away from the flag mechanism.
Sure.
Just because if it goes off and it catches, but really makes no difference today. But then I also like to set it up so that when the flag does go up, that you can see the majority of it.
Okay.
Just like that. I'll put on the light setting. And yeah, that's it. Just right in between the two islands, the 2 points come out. It's 35 feet right in the middle. I'll go drive up there and I'll just like kick a little circle or whatever, kind of, or just even drive in a circle, kind of where to fish in. And yeah, that'd be awesome over there too. Even like down in this hole, I don't know if you can see that or not, like down in this hole on the other side of it too. A measuring stick, because we're gonna need this to check some ice. And then we'll head on over to some of the ice roads that I plowed in the beginning of the year, compared to the ice roads that I just plowed here, and then compared to just some off the road stuff out in the middle of the lake. So I don't know if I've shown you guys this or not, but I used to just put these on the ground with a base of plywood, and then that box around it kept it running nice and warm. Well, what ended up happening was that the box always heated up, so the box would start to sink its way down into the ice. So now what I've done is I've made this base with 2x6s on the bottom, raises it up about 6 inches, and then you don't have any of that sinking happening anymore. So it's really saved me a lot of issues, and these things run super well in the generator boxes, and then having it up off the ice, it never tips. It's always nice and level. Doesn't get any water near it. Makes my life a lot easier. Okay, so I drove over to a little area that I plowed like early January. I think it was like the 5th or the 6th of January. So that was about 6 weeks ago, and we should have the most ice here. It's been exposed for the longest, so it's just naturally going to make the most ice. I am in the middle of the ice road right now. Never, ever, ever drill in the middle of an ice road like I'm about to do. These stunts are being performed by trained professionals. Do not try this at home. Anyways, I guess I'll just cut it and see how far we go down. It's a lot, I'll tell you that. I'm not even through yet. One thing I'll do too is when I do shavings like this, when I'm cutting a hole and I make shavings like this, I'll always cut a laneway with my foot. And then when I'm done, instead of shooting the shavings back down the hole or just trying to get them up over and through the shavings, it creates a really nice little runway for the shavings to just go straight back. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so we're through now. Got a bunch of slush in there. I just kick a little laneway with my feet. Get a wide stance. Get the auger blade all the way down in there, and then I'll just start drilling. It didn't work perfectly, but you can see how it's all mostly going that way rather than onto my feet. So measure it. Right there, we've got 22 and a half inches of ice on this ice road. The other thing that you'll notice is that the water line is about an inch or an inch and a half lower than the top of the ice. I always measure from where the water is, but you'll see that just because in the middle of this ice road, it naturally wants to push itself up after a while, and over by the banks will be sunken down a little bit. You have a good inch and a half, maybe even 2 inches of ice that's pushed up above what the water line is. So little ice road tip, if you're driving on an ice road, always drive right in the middle. You're going to be the safest there no matter what. So now what I'll do is I'll just go off the ice road here somewhere in the middle, probably back this way, somewhere in the middle where nobody's driven on it. It would be the most untouched piece of ice that we have, because if you also have snowmobiles or truck tracks driving over it, even though there isn't a road, it getting packed down like that will allow it to freeze a little bit better than anything around it. So that's what I'm going to do. You can see we've got, I don't know, half an inch of snow. Which is crazy for this time of the year. Normally we'll have a good 2 feet, and there's no way you can drive your truck off of a road or anything. So it's been really nice for, plowing spots. I don't even really have to. I plowed a main road the other day, just basically for navigation, and then everything else is just fine. So again, I'm showing you this ice here. You see how just thick and blue that is? It's the strongest ice you're going to come across. And so there is a tiny bit less than what was on the road. But there's still a lot there. Going down. We've got just a hair under 18 inches. And this is going to be the spot where there should be the least amount of ice in this whole basin. So the end of, what is it? So the end of February, 17 inches. Compared to last year, this is actually a little bit more ice than we had this time last year out in a spot like this. If I were to be plowing a new road, maybe had 16, 17 inches then. And now you're looking at 17 3/4 to 18 and a half, kind of wherever you're drilling. And being just a 7-hour or 8-hour drive north of Minneapolis, I looked at the weather this morning and it was +1 there, or sorry. Yeah, this morning it was +1 in Minneapolis, and here in Kenora it was -9. This is in Celsius, I don't know what that converts to, but 0 would be freezing. It was above freezing in Minneapolis, and it was -9, -10 here this morning. We have a ton of really cold nights left. A few days that do get into above freezing, but it's not by much, and then it always goes back to freezing by night. So we've got a lot of season left up here, and I still have some availability in the rentals. So if you're itching to get ice fishing one last time, come up to Canada. I'll take you. I'm also offering a guided package for guys with their own fish houses. So obviously, normally I would be plowing, but I can't really plow you a spot with this. So I'm just guiding everybody to awesome little spots that haven't been touched yet. And guys are killing the perch their first and second days at every spot. And then the walleyes come through, and there's great big lake trout here too. So average size this year for lake trout's been like 33 inches. And it's not an uncommon thing to come across. It's always a great fight when you catch one on a walleye rod. They just come in and eat whatever you've got jigging for perch and for walleye, and you know, guys have a lot of fun. Also, there's nobody here. Like, this is in the middle. I see 4 spots that I've been at for the first month of the season, and there's not a soul out here other than us. So we've got a lot of season left. Come on up, and I'll take care of you. So thanks for watching this all the way to the end. Episode number 4. This is about the furthest I've ever gotten on trying to film any sort of a series. So thanks again for watching. If you've watched all the way till now, if you've watched the first episodes, if you haven't, subscribe, go watch the rest of them. I'm going to try to do this every week, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's actually really fun. I just put a camera on, I go to work, and what comes of it comes of it. So as the seasons change, you know, we're going to be doing some different things. You know, coming up in the springtime, I do a lot of hunting related stuff. You know, I'm still going to be fishing and everything too, but a lot of hunting related stuff. So putting out some feeds and some supplements for deer, pass the time until the lakes open up, and we can get a boat in the water and start doing some guided fishing trips out of the boat. So, and for everybody watching this video, this is the only place I'm going to advertise it, is I'm going to put 40% off on our online store for all of our merchandise. So the sweater I'm wearing, the hat I'm wearing, we've got some t-shirts, some other sweaters, things like that. Beanies, toques, depending on where you're from, on our online store, and we're going to have that at 40% off. And then if you spend, I think it's over $150 Canadian, you get free shipping as well. So head on over to our online store. I will put a link in the description below of where to find that, and 40% off. You can get yourself suited up in some Northwest Outfitters swag, and then you'll be styling for the next week that you watch this Guide Life series. I will catch you then.